Hey everyone, welcome. We are doing a GoldenEye and Perfect Dark Elite.net speedrunning recap for the month of July 2025. And remember, you could always sign up for this website, theelite.net, and post your own times if you're inspired or inclined to do so. So, anyways, we're going to be mostly talking about times achieved that are worth points. We have a point system here on the rankings. We'll just talk about times worth points or world records or untied, whatever we may see. And yeah, we're going to start with right here, just a quick little recap for the LTK. Not a lot of people are getting LTK times right now, but that's all right. I'll change that soon. But for now, Josh116 Pep got his first complete on Streets LTK with an 820 worth 50 points. That meant that he had now times, he's been every single level on LTK, which is very nice. And then he also got a runway DLTK first complete as well. So good job to Josh on that. This was achieved at Moam 3. A lot of these times in the last couple of days of July that you're gonna see were achieved at Moam, which is stands for the meet of all meets. It's just an elite meet that's going on right now with a bunch of people. It's a big elite meet. So, anyways, that's just an interesting thing. But first, we're gonna go down here and see, starting obviously with July. So, July 1st, start of July. Joe T came in with a Depot 0050 worth 29 points. That's a 2-second cut for him. He had a 52 and skipped down to 50. So good job to Joe. Jimmy Billy the same day got a runway 0038. Very nice. Worth 52 points. He actually did this in a very strange fashion as well. It was not using a tank, and it was not using like the 34 strat. It was like a hybrid. It was like a very strange strategy. So that he only had to do like one R tap for the battery and not R tapping the far drone. So yeah, very interesting. I've never seen a run like that before. But anyways, good job to Jimmy Billy on that one. And then Red Screens got a Crash Site Perfect Agent 201 worth 31 points. And a Crash Site Perfect Agent 158, just the same day, worth 45 points. So I guess 201 was his first complete, and then he had to got to go for the sub too, right? So ended on a 45 pointer. Misty got a statue SA 219 worth 70 points, and that was pretty insane because he skipped all the way from 227 down to a 219. So just his first real complete on like any decent run with the Trev shot and flight recorder got him a 219. Most people get down to, a 221 and then a 220 and then a 219. That's kind of like the standard protocol. Obviously, he's a better player than most people playing, statue for the first time, but still, pretty fun to see that. Spicy got a Skedar Ruins Perfect Agent 201 worth 7 points. And then now we're going to July 2nd. Jimmy Billy with the Deepa 0050 worth 29 points, 1-second cut. As I say, get inspired or get retired. Seems like Joe bopped him on Deepa 00. So Jimmy was like, all right, well, I got my little runway 00 time. Let me play some Deepa 00 now. Which is pretty impressive to just hop from one level where you're playing on 1.2 and doing an R tap and whatever to Depot 00 where you're playing with 2.x and just completely different level. And it can take a while to get it complete. So that's actually pretty impressive. Nice work, Jimmy. And then still on July 2nd, Spicy got an Invest Perfect Agent 255, also worth 29 points. Scroll up here. Make sure it's not cut off. And then Gromit got a Surface One Agent 103 worth 24 points, which he's now duped a bunch of times, trying to get 102. Hopefully we see that for our recap in August. So good luck to Gromik on that. But anyways, nice work on the 103 at least. That'd be insane if he gets a 102 and then 23 other people get 102. It's a lot of people, but still. Would it be insane that 102 would be like the only time you can get worth points, like 102 or 101, which 101 is the current untied world record by Cali. So yeah, we have a few of those upcoming for as far as hoping that players, a certain amount of players get bop a time to where to get points at all, it's pretty insane. Like Runway SA22 will be a requirement soon. Not soon, but in some future. And that's just like ridiculous to think about, but also kind of exciting in a masochistic way. All right. Bands got an infill special agent 119 worth 72 points. And you can see here, because we're still in league here for July, so you can see bands getting this, which hopefully, can anyone in chat, I am live streaming this right now. I'd like to know, league must have ended now, right? League ended at July 31st. Is that when league finally ended? I'd have to assume that league is done by now. But anyways, a lot of these times we see are being achieved still in the Elite.net league. That we do the summer league, and as I said before, we see Bands. He was a very good player in GoldenEye, and anything he puts his mind to. We see him on these daily doubles, always achieving the highest points when it's like a first level for him. So very solid time. And then Spicy also gets an infill special agent 137 worth 40 points. Joe T with a Chicago Agent 16. That's not worth points, but it's 1 second off of points. That's an Irie tie right there. One of my few perfect dark times. Cubby with a statue 00219. Very solid. See what I'm saying here? Oh, let me scroll up. Do I need to scroll up? Where is it at? Oh, no, it's right here. You can see right here, Cubby with the statue 00219. He had a 220. And then got a 1 second cut. That's like the normal order of operations for most players. So anyways, congrats to Cubby on that. Tyrannicide, aka Tyler P, with a huge Surface 1 SA 148 worth 89 points. Really good record, so good job to Tyler on that. Misty with a statue 00219. See, once again, he had a 225 and he got a 6 second cut all the way down to 219. So Missy just does these huge skips on statue. He doesn't mess about. Cubby also got a statue SA 219 worth 70 points. Another 1 second cut. So yeah, he had the 220s and went down to 219s. And that was all in the same day too. You got 00 and SA219 on the same day. So that's pretty impressive. Good luck as well, with the flight recorders. Gamer Girl got Cradle Agent 34 with 37 points. Nice complete. She wanted to get the 33, but sometimes you just have to take a 34 first, It is what it is. Geiges with a very impressive sub 140 on Aztec 00. 1 second cut there, worth 81 points. Definitely his best time so far on his times page. Joe T with the Depot 0049. So a little bit of competition with Joe T and Jimmy. Joe decided to keep playing it and got the sub 50, which is very solid, and rebopped Jimmy. So nice 52 pointer. Kind of insane it's only worth 52 points. Kind of a shame, honestly. Like 49 is a pretty good time. When I got that time, 8 years ago now, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I'm sure it was worth like 70 points or so. 75 points probably, honestly. Cyrus with a statue 00220. So a lot of statue happening right now. Oh, he also had gotten to 221, as you can see. So he gets a 221, and then the next day he gets a 220. And you need 220 just to get any points now on statue 00. So yeah, nice work there. Got yourself points on another level. Very good. Bands with an MBR Special Agent 103 worth 59 points. And then Spicy with an MBR Special Agent 117 worth 35 points. Again, Bands always comes out on top. Spicy with a Deep Sea Special Agent 336 worth 10 points. Geiges with an Aztec 00138 worth 86 points. So as I said, that 139 was his best time. And then he gets a 138, which is now his best time. This is a very good time. I mean, this ties my time. I got that, in like 2019? But like, that's a very solid time. Very, very good stuff. It's pretty shocking, honestly. So, Grasta Geiges on the 138. That's, I don't know if it's the end of his journey on Aztec, but that's definitely seems to be that his journey's like got some sort of closure, because he's been on this off and on for the longest time. This is just like the level and the difficulty that he really cares about for this game. So for him to have a time that's like extremely impressive, you know, it feels like it's a feel good story, even if like maybe he'll even beat it by another second or two eventually. Spicy with a Depot Agent 23, nice world record. Really good stuff. So Grass is Spicy. This was actually on the daily double. When there's league happening, every day there's a GoldenEye stage and a Perfect Dark stage where it's worth double the points and double the bonuses if you get like a world record bonus. It's like you get more bang for your buck if you achieve a time within that 24-hour period. And Spicy decides to boot up Depot Agent, which he's had some experience with in the past, wanting to get it to 23 and not being able to achieve it, because there is a lot, it's a big grind, a lot of luck and clutchness. And it's the Depot Agent day, and he's like, let's try it out, give it a shot. And he nails it. I think he even got a dupe on the same day. Yeah, dupe 24. Sorry, you can't really see this well. I'm not going to try to get it on screen now. But he got 24 30 minutes before it. So he gets a dupe 30 minutes before, which is already pretty impressive to get 2 warps in 30 minutes. And then he clutches it on the second one. So good job, Spicy. Most people in that case would have got the dupe and been like, oh man, well that was my chance of the day. Might as well just go play something else now. Like, what's the point, But he kept through and boom, clutched the 23. So really good world record. And then Spicy, so we're on July 9th now. Spicy gets an Invest Special Agent 210 worth 45 points. Nice stuff there. And then the next day, Spicy gets Defense Special Agent 132 worth 17 points. It was a bit slow of a couple days there, but then Tyler comes in hot with a Surface 100 148 worth 95 points. That is a 1 second off world record. Just a really solid time. And he gets some leaderboards for the level as well. So yeah, top ranking, all 3 difficulties, top 10. So really good stuff. And then Spicy gets a Crash Site Special Agent 133 worth 21 points. DG's gets a Damn Agent 52. So there's another 52 for the books. Solid world record. And that's not all we'll be seeing of DG's for this month. And then JD with a Mayan SOS Special Agent 150. Really good stuff. This, I think he said here, yeah, his player comment says, finally, big monkey off my back. Should have had this in 2021. 20 151s since returning to this level a few days ago. So there you go. You like to see that as well, where someone was going for something years ago, wasn't able to achieve it, come back, obviously as a better and more mature player, and boom, nails that. So good job, JD. I think only 3 people have that time. I think it's him. The one that first achieved it was Ricky, and then I think Ace tied it, and then I think he's only the third to achieve it. So there you go. Spicy with an extraction special agent 137 worth 7 points. JD with a Mayan SOS perfect agent 201 worth 91 points. So JD had just gotten the Mayan SOS special agent record and then decides to play some perfect agent as well because why not? You know, it's one of those, it's a similar level. Already used to like some of the strafing and stuff, so might as well see if he does even better. Truer Faith, my man comes in with a Bunker 2 Agent 20. Still going for that facility SA50 off and on. It's just extremely degen time. And as we've seen this year, you know, True Faith likes to just take very small breaks when he decides that there's some other level to get an easy cake world record, just to display his dominance. We call this a morale booster. You know, just something where you just cake a little PB somewhere. For him, a little PB is like, you know, what most people consider a hard world record. But for him, you know, just kick a little world record here and there, just to kind of keep his wits, you know, and then go back to the long standing grind. So yeah, he caked that 20, and he's even gotten a bunch of them, just like hanging around, just got a few dupes. I think apart from Cali, he probably has like the second most amount of 20 dupes, honestly. And for him, it's just for fun. Not even going for 19. It's just for fun. He's just that good at the level. So anyways, and it was a really good run. I mean, he has shown that 19's like technically possible, but still pretty insane. Who knows if 19 will ever happen. Therm, there's a lot of GoldenEye world records this month. Like this is, we'd have to look it up and do the math, but this is one of the most amount of like world records in a month that we've seen in a while, apart from, you know, like the damn 52 craze and stuff like that. Like apart from a level that there was a gold rush for. This has been a very productive, well spread out like amount of like different world records on different levels. Really good stuff for the community. So Therm with the Cradle SA33 just needs that 0033 now for the sweep. Nice work, Therm. I still remember back a few years ago when he got Agent 33. So yeah, good job, Therm. Spicy with the Mayan SOS Agent 142 worth 20 points. JD Black with a Mayan SOS Perfect Agent 200. Really wants that sub 2. It's just, suppose it's pretty difficult, you know? Got 1 second cut there and it was that close to the sub 2, but right now has a 94 pointer on it. Vincent B, aka DGs, gets a Runway SA22. So let's see here. That was a Damn Agent 52, July 12th, and then July 18th. So 6 days later, within less than a week, gets 2 world records. That's really, really good. So good job on the Runway SA22. Again, this is another time where we just need like 24 players or so to get 22s, and 23 will be pointless, which would be a wild sight, but we do want to see that happen eventually. And then Sean John on the same day gets a Damn Agent 52. So kind of cool because DGs had just gotten Damn 52, and then Sean John on the same day as DG's getting this record, Sean John gets his record. So good job to Sean John getting the Damn Agent 52. The thing of note for Sean John's run, and why I like to do these recaps for anyone interested about these, you know, just kind of compiling facts together on a video, is that Sean John actually had gotten a 52, pretty much a legit 52, on the ROM. We don't allow ROMs, right? On the ROM that doesn't have any hacks, any speed boosts or anything. It just has the timers, like it has decimals. It tells you certain splits and the end decimal, which we don't allow, you know, which is understandable why we wouldn't allow that. but it's just kind of funny. Like he pretty much achieved a legit 52. It was just on the EverDrive ROM of the level, and then he had to go and play for like a lot longer to achieve it again. So kind of achieved the first one early. It doesn't count, and then the second one very late. So at least he stuck with it and got it though. You know, he did get the record. And then Kratos gets a record here. It's Bunker 2 Agent 20. So that's two 20s in 1 month. We hadn't seen a 20. When Clem achieved his 20, aka True Faith, uh, a few days before this, we hadn't seen one in like a few years. And then all of a sudden, uh, he achieves it. Kratos achieves it. So there you go. Couple 20s going on, pretty cool stuff. It's fun too. It was a Bunker 2 Agent 20, and it was a 20-point gain. So all this is really helpful for Kratos' times page. I mean, getting good world records you could be proud of, and also getting good points that are going to be maintained, very sustainable point gains right now, where he'll be top 10 pretty soon if he keeps at it and goes for the right PBs. And we want to see another Canadian in the top 10. We want to see Kyle up there. It would be awesome. Tyler, young Tyler, we call him. Tyler gets Egypt Agent 46. So solid job there. Oh, I'd actually didn't mention he got 47. And then the same day, I guess, maybe and the next session might not necessarily been the same session, but he got Egypt Agent 46. So here you go, 59 points. Keep at that. Sultan, aka Sayonara, finally gets the Runway 00 Agent 29. So that was a long time coming for him. He was a little bit bummed for a while on that level, but he also didn't stick, not to jab at him too hard. He would just kind of play it off and on, I was telling him, just grind it, just get it over with. And then when I saw that he was playing again, I just tried to give him a little motivation. I'm like, oh man, he had like a really close run, because you need a few perfect throws to hit. And I was like, yo, keep at it and you'll have it by the weekend. And then he gets it that weekend. So that gives him what is that? Second place on the leaderboard. So yeah, good job. And yeah, I called it. And he told me too. He was like, oh man, you called that shit. So there you go. And that's why I say, sometimes you just gotta zone in on a level and on a grind. When you got the time, just grind it out. When you're feeling close, you just gotta nail it out. It's akin to being in a UFC fight, and you got the guy, sure, you kind of run out of stamina, you're kind of tired, but you got the guy just kind of defenseless. You just gotta pummel it out till the ref breaks it up, or until he gets knocked out. You can't just step back a moment and let catch your breath, because they're gonna catch their breath and they might come knock you out. So you just gotta power through and just bang it out until it's done. And but not all times are like that. Sometimes they're more of a slow and sustained grind, But sometimes, especially a time like this, where just very intricate moving parts and muscle memory. You just want to keep that in you, and you just want to grind it out till it's done. So anyways, yeah, congrats to Sayonara there. Blue khakis with the Train SA-133. That's worth 30 points. Good job, Blue. Wish I Was Famous. OG here. With a Rescue Special Agent 221. Still getting times, here and there. Pretty much making it onto every recap with at least one or two little Perfect Dark times. So worth 57 points. Probably improve that a little bit more soon. We'll see. And here we go, guys. The highlight of the month. Ilu, on July 24, 2025, finally achieves Caverns Agent 100. This is historic. There's been like 5 or so really good players that have been off and on grinding this level. Ilu most recently has been stuck with it, the hardest. But there was a lot of people that really put in some time. Shout out JD, shout out Yoris, I'm sure there's like a few others as well, but people have put in some real hard time into this level for this time. And there's been a little bit of strat innovations and whatever, but it's also just, it should have happened a while ago, but it's also an insane time. So it kept going in between, like, this is overdue and then this is like never gonna happen. It's like, obviously you can't have both, it can't be overdue and impossible. um but the longer it went on feeling overdue, the more it started feeling like, well, maybe it's just never gonna happen because it's so insane, and they kept burning out all of our good players. But Ilu stuck with it and got it. So this is huge news. There's a lot of things that this does. I do want to mention it was on PAL, which a lot of people didn't see coming, myself included. We didn't even realize he was playing on PAL for the last like a little while. So he was playing on PAL, which helps lower the PAL record, which is near and dear to my heart. Trying to get that minute barrier broken, but that'll still take a lot of work. That helps though, because in my calculations, I never put down Caverns Agent 100 as something that would happen on PAL and help with that. So that 1 second is only 1 second, but it was not accounted for at all. So that's huge. So grats to Ilu. Thanks for playing on PAL. It did seem to help him a little bit as well. He said it was like more consistent. The timer was more consistent for him. Maybe not necessarily the fastest on like the best runs possible, but more consistent, which helped him out. And you have to see this run. I mean, it's an untied. You should watch most world records and all untieds. But like you have to see it. The ending of this run is ridiculous. So congrats to Ilu on that. And the other thing is with the total, regards to the total time, let's take a look here. I'm going to mess this up for a bit here. The overall combined time now is at 1:10:06. And we see the agent total time at 19:00, right? So, yeah, right here, see. So, I'm not going to get into whatever. All I'm going to say is there is a Frigate Agent 21 that is unranked right now. That's a story for another time, but this is not a secret or even an open secret. This is just facts. So even though it's not on the rankings, I'm going to say it's pretty much the truth, right? That Ilu's, because this should already be at 19:00. Ilu's Caverns 100 broke the agent barrier from 19:00 down to 18:59, which is historic. It's incredible. It's amazing. I wish that it's read 18:59 right now. But anyways, so I'm gonna give him props for that. I think most people would agree on that, and that's really cool. I mean, the fun thing about a barrier like that is it feels barely possible. I mean, Chris just helped out a lot. Chris G with the Egypt 43. What was that, last month or something like that? A month or two ago? Let me see. April. Very end of April. So that helped a lot. And yeah, I mean, definitely like Aztec could go down another second or two. Cradle 32 is possible, but hasn't happened yet. Jungle 48 is like barely possible. Train 54, you could probably say is possible. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Deepa 22, I mean, probably impossible. Streets 110, people have tried for it. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. And then, like Bunker 2, 19, maybe possible. Probably never going to happen. So it's just like, yeah, that Frigate 21, which should be the ranks, on the ranks. It's a thing that's happened. Silo 58 probably never happening. Who knows? Bunker 115 is probably in some world slightly possible, but probably absolutely never happening. Surface 100. I mean, Callie's talked about like it being possible, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Surely not gonna happen if he's not playing for it. And that's it. I mean, Dam 51, maybe barely possible, probably never happening. So you can see with the way I'm wording all this is like, there's a lot of things that we could say are like technically maybe barely possible, but also probably never happening, and not a whole lot of room for like improvement either for like a big strategy development to make it more possible. So it's like there's just, even though there's like a few things you can kind of say is like, oh, that's plausible, it's like they're, most of those things are never happening. The only really realistic one right now is like Aztec 119. The rest I really just don't even see happening. So we barely squeaked in that 1859 is my point of all that. It's like, even though you could say all these things, it's like we barely squeaked in that 1859. So it's just really cool to see. And I am definitely going to give Ilu props on that. And then also, so our overall combined time, this is the even more important thing, obviously, is to get this down to where is that? Sub 110. So I'm going to say we're at 110.05. It reads as 110.06, but again, that frigate 21. So I'm going to say we need 6 more seconds and maybe someone else achieving frigate 21 or whatever, or get it on the ranks. So, yeah, I mean, we're like 6 seconds. I mean, we're really nearing there, because even though all these agent times seems like most of them are unlikely to happen, there still are plenty of ripe things for SA and Double O. Like there's a lot. I mean, we could talk about this all day. I mean, right now, Truer Faith is going for facility SA50, and that should happen pretty soon. So as soon as that happens, we're 5 seconds away. I mean, we're at the home stretch here, and as we get so close, especially as we get like 2 seconds away, that's when the whole community, at least I would hope, is all going to band together and just try to grind out Untieds, because it's just going to be so exciting. And then when we're like 1 or 2 seconds away, they're just going to be like there's going to be people playing for Aztec Double O, and like just try to, even if you're like 2 or 3 seconds away, play Aztec Double O with some degen strats and just maybe even get it in one run. So it's going to be a very exciting time. I feel like right now, a lot of people, including myself, I'll put myself in this box, we're kind of just hanging tight, just hanging around, doing our thing, grinding, whatever, and waiting, for it to get kind of closer. And then once it's closer, it is close right now, but once it's even a little bit more close, I feel like everyone's going to be like, okay, now I need to make history. I need to really cement myself in this history books and help out the community, because by the end of the day, it's all about the community. It's all about us together going ahead and getting this sub 110, and that'll be historic. So yeah, the big things, Egypt 43s maybe, we'll see. Definitely Aztec Double O, Aztec Agent, the frigate 00102, the facility SA50. I mean, even just those alone, like let's say that we are 6 seconds away because of the frigate 21. So 6 seconds, right? Let's say we get 2 on Aztec Double O, 1 on Aztec Agent. So we're already at 3. We're already halfway there. 1 on frigate Double O, 1 on facility SA, and maybe 1 on surface 2 Double O. Like boom, we're already there. So we are so close. And obviously I hope to see the community still kind of keen, and especially all the newer players and stuff, keen to do their stuff and have their fun, go for cool times, have some fun, whatever, some cool little competition. But I feel like for a lot of us, once we hit this time, a lot of us are just gonna kind of sail off into the sunset, kind of what Ilu's done. I still think Ilu's probably going to play some more, and he was doing a little bit of streaming, but just kind of messing around. But he said when he achieved his Caverns Agent 100 that he's like just going to coast off into the, sunset now, just right away. And he deserves it, It's kind of like Ghost, what they say about ghosts, whether you believe in ghosts or not. It's just the saying is like ghosts are around because they have unfinished business, and once they finish their unfinished business, they just, they go away, right? Well, that's all of us as a community right now. Like this is our unfinished business, and I feel like once we achieve this sub 110, a lot of us just kind of, all right, well, we've done that. What else is there to do in life? It's I'm not really stating it whether or not I'm going to keep playing. I'm just saying I can kind of see it being something where once we achieve that, a lot of us are just, for better or for worse. You could argue it's a bad thing, but you could also argue that that's like it's kind of wholesome. We just have this big thing, and then once this happens, it's like we all just kind of go our separate ways. But we'll see. Either way, the point is that right now that is the goal, and that's probably not going to be achieved for the next year or two. So it should be a very exciting year or two right now as we get closer to that. And I would definitely advise being, highly active in the community right now as this this community goal is ongoing. Because, you don't know how much longer people are going to be interested in this game, but we know that there's a lot of interest right now. So, make your mark in history. And if you're just a viewer, enjoy it at the sidelines. So, anyways, that's all I got to say about Ilu's time. But this is, again, really cool stuff. And yeah, with that PAL stuff, let me see. System records. Where's it at? So the overall combined times for PAL is at 1:12:23. So we just need 24 more seconds on PAL. Pretty difficult ask right here. But again, that'll be another cool thing for people. I think especially once we get our main goal on the sub 110 combined, everything. I think for PAL, getting sub 112 would be pretty cool. And then I could also see someone wanting to get NTSC sub 111 to get this into the 110s. Both of those are very achievable goals, but also would take like not any one person could do it. I couldn't just do it by myself. Not any one person could do this. This would take level specialists grinding out, system records, system untieds. So anyways, that's my little side stuff from the cavern story. I mean, that is the biggest story of the month here. So let's keep it moving and grooving, shall we? We're still have 6 more days left or so. 7 more days. So, Spicy with a Villa SA 129 worth 8 points. Joe T gets his Depot Agent 24 with 56 points. I think he said he had 7 warps. Yeah, 7 warps to get 24. So that's pretty grueling. But where's this at? Am I even showing this properly? Yeah, it's right here. 7 warps is grueling, but good job sticking with it and getting your time. Nice one, Joe T. Blue Khakis with an Archives Agent 16 worth 89 points, and that closes out the Boring 4 with the, Dam, Archives, Bunker 1, and Runway. The Boring 4, now it's 1 second off of the world record. But yeah, that's the Boring 4. And then Kratos with an Aztec SA 136 worth 64 points. So nice work to Kratos there. That's a 2-second cut. So, 14 points gained. That's a good first times page. Could still definitely go a little bit lower there. But it's a rough level. Aztec SA is a rough one. All right. Perna here with an Infill Agent 104. Again, so now we're starting to get a lot of times achieved at the MOAM, the meat of all meats. So Perna gets Infill Agent 104 with 83 points. Sean John at the meat gets a world record, a Depot Agent 23. So 2 23s in 1 month, and one of them at a meet is really, really cool. And he had just gotten a dupe right before. He had 20 warps and 16 dupes. That's pretty crazy and pretty consistent. So, but yeah, gets that at the meet. And I think it was like the first or second warp he had with the train shot. So he just kept missing the train shot, and then he just finally hit it on a run and then clutched it. So good job, Sean John. That's really cool to achieve that at a meet with all the homies around. Pretty special stuff. And then QWERTY with the Deep Sea Agent 232, worth 68 points. I have to move this down now. And Deep Sea Special Agent 304 with 72 points. DG's with a Surface 2 Agent 46. Solid world record. So good job to DG's. That's 3 world records in 1 month. There you go. That's a lot of world records. Spicy with a Skidar Ruin Special Agent 131 worth 42 points. Perna with an Infill Special Agent 113 worth 81 points. I'm just going to say Spicy definitely, his team definitely won. It was Spicy versus Alka. It was only 2 teams for League this year. Spicy's team definitely won. And then Kratos gets an Aztec 00138 worth 86 points. That's a 4-second cut. So it went from 142 down to 138. Gets the Irie tie, 25 points gained. Getting dangerously close to top 10. So keep up the good work, Kratos. And that's the last time worth points of the month here. So I mean, there you have it, right? It's a good one to end on. So no points achieved in July, on July 31st, on the last day. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all. I guess there was, yeah, not even that. Yeah, no times worth points achieved for July 31st. But I mean, that's a lot of records. Let's tally it up, shall we? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 records. 10 of them are GoldenEye world records. One of them was an untied. So, I mean, 10. 10 world records in 1 month and spread out, like Surface 2 Agent, Depot Agent, Caverns Agent, untied, Bunker 2 Agent, Dam Agent, Runway Essay, Cradle Essay. I mean, that's a large mix. So it's not just our usual elite community hive mind that we like to do, which I think is always fun, honestly. But, you know, it's just like a lot of players play one thing, whether it's because of a gold rush or just because it's the, you know, kind of the flavor of the week or flavor of the month. So, yeah, congrats to everybody on their times. And thanks for watching this lengthy monthly recap. And I'll see you guys for another monthly recap for August at the end of the month here. And daily recaps most days. We'll call it mostly daily recaps. So thanks for watching. Take care.